Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to my weather video of the day. So we are here talking about Christmas, which is in about exactly 5 days from today. It is the 20th of December on a Sunday, and over the past couple of days, me and other people in the weather community have been looking at the models, and it looks like we have a Christmas storm that will be making its mark, especially on the eastern half of the nation, coming here in the next few days. So let me break it down for you exactly what's going to be happening over the next several days. Again, we're still 4 or 5 days out from this actual storm kind of, coming into fruition. So again, things will change as we get closer. Obviously, weather changes all the time. But basically, the storm is not even in the country right now. It is still off the coast of the Pacific Northwest. It will be making its way into the Pacific Northwest tomorrow night on Monday. So if you live in Seattle, Portland, you're going to be swamped again with rain, and then you're going to get a lot of mountain snow coming into the Northern Rockies and the Cascades. So ski lovers out there, this is a good sign for you all. So basically, this storm is going to be making its way eastward, as all storms pretty much do. However, it is going to cling to basically the northern part of the actual country. So that means like the center of the actual low pressure system is not going to be dipping down into like the plains as we saw with Winter Storm Gale, like the last one or even the one before that. The center of circulation is going to be basically confined toward the Canadian U.S. border as it slides on east. The thing about this storm, though, gotta make sure I look at my graphics as well, is that it's going to be cutting an actual cold front when it comes out of the Rockies and as it makes its way east. So basically what's going to happen is the storm system is going to evolve here in the upper plains, and then a cold front's going to be basically forming, and it's going to be cutting obviously the warm and the cold. And the interesting thing about this storm is that it's going to be bringing in a lot of Arctic air behind it. So places in the plains and let's say the southern plains and like the high range of the Rockies, you folks are actually going to see above average temperatures over the next couple days until this storm actually moves through. Once it moves through, reality check, it is winter tomorrow, officially the 21st. It is going to just nosedive temperature-wise. And the interesting fact about the storm is that some moisture may be left behind the actual cold front. So we could be looking at places going from rain to snow in a lot of the eastern part of the state, in the nation and everything. The tricky thing about this forecast is how powerful and how actually fast this actual front moves. If the front just swoops right on by, a lot of the precipitation is going to end right before the cold air gets in place basically for a changeover. But if the cold front moves a little slower, then there will be some time for cold air to filter in behind the front with moisture still in place. And if you live in parts of the Great Lakes going down into the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys, and then parts eastward, even parts of the southeast, that's where some of these computer models are suggesting once the actual storm front passes on the back end, we could be looking at a shot of snow. And when is this going to happen? Yep, you're right. Mainly Christmas Eve into Christmas Day on Friday itself. So ahead of the front, it's actually going to warm up a lot. And I mean like a lot. It's going to be like 10 to 20 degrees above average for places mostly east of the Mississippi River, basically on Wednesday and Thursday. That's when you're going to see the bulk of the warmth. Then a lot of places are going to start off basically as rain, even here in the northern part of the Great Lakes and New England. So like Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, going over onto the East Coast, Boston, New York, Philly, DC, you all are going to see rain essentially starting off with this storm system. However, it's on the back side, depending again how fast that cold air comes in, and if there's moisture left over, that's when you could see changeovers. So changeovers are possible in Minneapolis, Chicago, Again, Detroit, going down to Cincinnati, even going down into places like St. Louis, Nashville, maybe parts of the deep south, Atlanta. You might see a mixture of rain and snow overnight, Christmas Eve going into Christmas morning. And then the front will basically, clear out on the East Coast, and the storm system basically will wrap itself up in parts of northern New England. And the other thing about this is it's going to be very, very windy. I was looking at the forecast for DC. We're supposed to get near 60 degrees on Christmas Eve, and then boom, come crashing down all day on Christmas. We're supposed to go from 60 to about, I think they said about 4 or 5 p.m., and it'll start gradually coming down a little bit, but once the cold front comes through sometime Christmas morning, we're just going to plummet down into basically the mid to lower 30s for the rest of the afternoon on Christmas, and there's a shot of seeing some snow here in the nation's capital. And again, all along the East Coast, mainland, the Mid-Atlantic, and going into the Northeast and New England, you do all have a shot of seeing that changeover from rain to snow. So it's a very exciting storm system that is, shaping up. Unfortunately, it is happening during, one of the busiest times of the years. Hopefully, a lot of people will get their shopping done before the storm system makes its way through the country. Again, a lot of it's going to originate over here in the Pacific Northwest on Monday. It's going to take Tuesday into Wednesday when it really starts cranking up, especially when it gets here into the upper plains, and you'll start seeing that temperature divide between warm southerly air ahead of it and that cold Arctic air coming in behind it. The question is, are we going to see changeovers from rain to snow, especially in a lot of the bigger cities along the east? But are we going to see places like in North, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia? We're going to see snow, maybe some flurries on Christmas morning. That is a question for a couple days from now when we get more info. So until then, hopefully you get your Christmas shopping done, which I still need to do. But remember to stay safe, and happy holidays, everyone. I'll be back in hopefully 2 days. I'm thinking Tuesday, with another update on the potential winter storm that will be affecting a lot of us here on the East Coast. Again, Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. Stay safe out there, everyone.